Hello, everyone! Welcome back to the Luana English Podcast, the place where we help you level up your English while talking about things that actually matter. I'm Luana.
And I'm Josimar. It's great to be back in the booth with you today, Luana.
Today's topic is one that is very close to my heart. We are talking about the power of introverts. In a world that often seems to reward the loudest person in the room, why are quiet people so essential?
It's a fascinating subject. Many people think being an introvert is a weakness, but in reality, it's a different kind of superpower.
Exactly. So if you're a quiet soul, or if you just want to understand your introverted friends better, all while picking up some natural English, stay tuned. So, Josimar, let's start with a personal question. Would you consider yourself an introvert or an extrovert?
Well, I think I'm somewhere in the middle, an ambivert. But I definitely have introverted tendencies. I love a good party, but after a few hours, I really need to go home and recharge my batteries in total silence. How about you?
Oh, I'm definitely an extrovert. I get energy from being around people, but I've noticed that some of my best ideas come when I stop talking and actually listen to the introverts on my team.
That's a key point. Society often confuses quiet with having nothing to say, but introverts are usually deep thinkers. They don't just speak to fill the silence. They speak when they have something meaningful to contribute.
I read a book by Susan Cain where she says that our schools and workplaces are designed for extroverts. Think open-plan offices and group projects. It can be quite overwhelming for someone who thrives in a quiet environment.
Absolutely. Think about brainstorming sessions. Usually the person who shouts their idea first gets the most attention, but the introvert might be sitting in the corner connecting the dots and finding a flaw in the plan that everyone else missed.
So you're saying introverts are better at observing?
Often, yes. They are excellent observers. Because they aren't focused on being the center of attention, they pick up on small details like someone's body language or a subtle shift in the mood of a room.
That makes them great leaders too, right? Even though we usually imagine leaders as loud and charismatic.
Right. Research shows that introverted leaders often perform better when they have proactive employees. They actually listen to suggestions instead of just trying to put their own mark on everything.
I love that. It's about making space for others. But let's be honest, Josimar, it can be hard for introverts in social situations. Small talk can be exhausting for them.
Oh, tell me about it. For an introvert, talking about the weather for 20 minutes feels like a chore. They usually prefer deep dives, conversations about philosophy, feelings, or complex projects.
Let's pause there and look at some of the language we just used. Josimar, you mentioned recharging your batteries. That's a classic idiom, isn't it?
It is. We use it to describe getting your energy back. For introverts, this usually involves me time, reading, walking, or just sitting quietly. Extroverts, on the other hand, might recharge by going to a concert.
Great point. Now I want to talk about a grammar nuance. I said it can be quite overwhelming. We use quite a lot in natural English to modify adjectives.
Yes, and it's interesting because quite can mean very or completely, but it can also mean somewhat depending on the context. If I say the movie was quite good, I usually mean it was better than expected, but not amazing. But if I say it's quite impossible, it means completely impossible.
Another thing I noticed was our use of thrive. I said introverts thrive in quiet environments.
To thrive means to grow or develop very well. It's a much more natural way to say to be successful or to do well in a specific situation. You might thrive under pressure, or a plant might thrive in the sun.
We're reaching the end of the episode, but we can't leave without our vocabulary summary. We've picked 5 words or expressions from today's chat.
Let's get to it. 1. Overwhelming, adjective, when something is too much to handle emotionally or mentally. Example, the noise in the city center was overwhelming after staying in the quiet countryside.
2. To pick up on, phrasal verb, to notice something that is not obvious. She picked up on his nervousness even though he was smiling.
3. Thrive, verb, to grow, develop, or be successful. Example, some people thrive when working from home while others prefer the office.
4. A chore, noun, a task that is boring or unpleasant but necessary. For many people, doing the laundry is a total chore.
5. to recharge one's batteries. Idiom, to regain energy by resting. Example, I need a weekend in the mountains to recharge my batteries before the big project starts.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Whether you are an introvert, an extrovert, or somewhere in between, we hope this episode gave you some food for thought.
And don't forget to practice. Try to use one of our 5 vocabulary words in a sentence today. Maybe write it down in your journal or use it in a conversation.
Remember to follow the Luana English Podcast for more episodes. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.